Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm talking today about the ego and whether we should keep it or lose it. Now, when it comes to my guides, they say if I wish to rise up to the level up they're at, if I want to raise my consciousness and expand my consciousness and vibrate higher, then I have to lose my ego. And it doesn't mean losing the part of you that makes you you. When they refer to ego, what they mean is to live in a 3D environment, to live in the animal state of mind with instincts and dog-eat-dog mentalities. Not that everyone's going to be dog-eat-dog with an ego, don't get me wrong. We have to realise we are more than this. We have to realise that we're spiritual beings having a human experience. And to be in the 3D mindset is to be very much aware of just being the physical being. To be interacting with our 3D environment, to be speaking to other people in the 3D mindset. And the 3D is very dog-eat-dog, it is very instinctive and it's very primal sometimes. We all know this, we can try and escape all we like, our primal feelings, but we have them. And until we release that, we will continue to have them. So, keeping the ego, let's talk about keeping the ego and staying in the 3D mindset. To keep the ego means to keep reacting to stimulus, to having an emotional reactions to people's behaviour or people's attitude towards us, or even just energy sent our way. We react emotionally. It's the animal part of us is instinctively reacting to a stimulus. Now, to lose the ego means to be aware that this is just a game, that this is just Earth University and this is not real. It's as real as we experience it to be real, as much as we want it to be real. But we're in a programme and we're learning, it's university and we're here for different earth degrees. Once we take that seriously, we fall back into the third reality spectrum. Once we realise we're higher beings and we're just here for an experience, we move up to the fourth or fifth. To be moving up to the fourth or fifth, we have to let go of all the dogma and conditioning and that part of our personality that keeps us reacting to stimulus. The ego is good when you're in a 3D world to keep us protected. It is the first thing that kicks in. The ego is I call it the doorway to the emotional closet, because when the ego is in full functioning mode, we react, we become, we have issues about things, we become offended by things, we play the game too seriously sometimes and we really do, oh, that offended me, why? I'm just being me. Do you know, other people's way of life, other people's decisions and actions shouldn't affect us unless they're actually affecting us physically or they're stopping us from living our life. Other people's ways of being shouldn't offend us because they're here for their own experience, they're here for their own journey, their own earth degree. So having this ego around us is us. It's our self-defense mechanism for a 3D reality spectrum. It's part of the dog-eat-dog mentality where I will lash out at somebody, or I will, my first mental response, the ego's job is to tell me I'm being treated unfairly, or to make me feel like I've been hurt by something, so I can take action, stop it happening. This is only going to be needed in the 3D environment when you're with other beings who are still in that environment and still wanting to learn those lessons and still wanting to work through being in the animal state. And I don't mean that in disrespectful, the animal state. We are in the animal state in this human body. We're not in the energy state or the astral state. It is the animal state, and we do go by instincts. That's how I can say this. So losing the ego means realising that we don't need that protection anymore, that we don't need to validate ourselves by what goes wrong in our life and what negative impacts have happened to us. If you look at yourself as a human being, what we do as human beings is all the things that have ever happened to us in our physical lifetime, we seem to only choose the negative things that happened, the list of negative things that we remember, and we hold that close to us and we wrap ourselves up in the negativity and we use it as an excuse for our behaviour. We use it as a reason why we shouldn't be moving forward in life. We give ourselves reasons to feel terrible. Oh, no, you see, I have these problems because this happened to me one time in my life. Oh, this person did this to me. I can say that, I won't going to disclose things that happened to me in my life, but but I haven't chose to bring them with me. And I've had experiences in my life that most women, are fear happening to them. Yet I'm not going to allow these experiences to validate me. They happened. I learned a lesson from them and I forgave the situation. I grew wise from it. I'm not bitter and twisted from them. But I choose not to bring that on my journey. I would rather choose to bring with me, if anything, the happy times, the giving birth to my children, the spending time with my family, happy moments of my childhood that make me feel warm and fuzzy, rather than the negative things. I choose just to let that go because it happened. I learnt a lesson. There's no point carrying it with me. There's no point remembering these things. It's not going to serve me. It's not going to bring me happiness. My ego would choose to keep hold of these things to make me feel like I have a reason to be angry, a reason to be sad, or that I have a reason not to let people treat me bad because these things have happened to me. You can't treat me that way. Do you know what's happened to me in my life? This is the ego talking. And it's going to hold us back all the time, because once you shed that skin, yes, it's raw. It's a raw feeling to suddenly be in the world, in this universe, as a raw being, letting it all go. Everything that's happened to you, you've let go, you let fly away, good and bad, let fly away, and live in this very moment right now. I am here in this moment. Right now I'm talking to this phone in my healing therapy room where I work, and I'm talking about my experiences. This is the moment I'm having right now. This all that exists right now is this very moment, because there is no past. The past is a collection of memories, be it false or not, that I may have made up due to thinking that these things I've elaborated over the years, these memories, or they may be misconstrued memories, other people's memories they've told me and I've remembered. What's the point in keeping hold of them? They're gone. They're gone. I can choose to go back down the memory lane if I wanted to, but the past is gone. The situation's not here anymore. It is gone. There is no future because I haven't written it yet. I haven't gone into the next moment yet. So it doesn't exist yet. It's filled with so much possibilities because it doesn't exist yet. We haven't been there. So therefore, why put our focus in the future or our focus in the past when we could be focusing on right here, right now? What's happening right now? And right now, I choose to shed the ego, I shed my protective layer, and I just am the energy being. Yes, I am in a physical body, but my mental experience and my energetic experience is now that I have let go all that baggage, all the dogma, all the conditioning, and the protective ego that stopped me from moving forward. The one that stopped me from moving to a fifth dimensional mindset, a fifth dimensional energy state. I can now vibrate at a higher vibration because I'm letting that go. I'm choosing not to exist in the 3D paradigm anymore where we need validation for existence. I just am. Nothing more to it, I just am. And I'm creating my journey every moment that is brought to me. Every moment that I am aware of, I am creating my experience. So do you see why I personally feel we do not need the ego? Because the world I am in now is I don't take things personally because I respect that you are having a journey. And if you choose to speak to me terribly, it's because you're not in a happy place. A really happy person wouldn't choose to speak to somebody with disrespect and outright nastiness. They mustn't be in a very good place. But I am not going to choose to react emotionally to your behaviour. Why should I? It's your journey. This is your issue. This is your ego that's causing you to feel this way. I don't need to take that on board. I can just be aware that you're having this reaction. I don't need to have a reaction to it. It's not going to serve me to have a reaction. I could start crying and get all hysterical and how dare they treat me that way. That's not going to help me move forward. That is not me choosing happiness. That's me choosing to be irritated and sad and emotionally upset. I don't want to choose that. So therefore I won't choose that. I choose to see your journey for what it is. You're having things happen in your life. You're reacting to stimulus. I am choosing not to react to stimulus because my ego has been let go, so I don't have that door anymore that's going to, that has this cupboard of emotions that it'll fling me an emotion to have, that my brain, that ego will decide what I'm going to react like. I'm not going to react at all. I want to see it for what it is. This is another part of my degree, my earth degree. I need to understand that you are reacting to something. I do not have to join in with you. If I look at it from an upper point of view, take myself out of the situation and see it for the game that it is. It's like if I got a job on Coronation Street or Sex and the City, whatever, and I became the character in that movie or that TV show, and then I started to really believe that I was that character and it's all I ever was and it's all I'm ever going to be, and that is who I am, and you better treat me with respect. You know, that's how I see life, that when we take this character too seriously, we've lost the game. We can't see it for what it is anymore. We become too personally involved in the game, and then we apply too much emotional content into the game. We are affected by it. We lose sight of the bigger picture. We are energy beings. We are divine beings. We're infinite beings of energy. I see auras. I see when I do my healings, the transfer of energy from my hands into the person. I see the colour around the person. I know that I can see the energy around people, so I know that they're energy beings inside these physical avatars. And I speak to enough spirits for a living. I'm a clairvoyant medium. I speak to a lot of people on the other side who are having a fantastic time, by the way. Far better than us. They laugh at us because we take it far too seriously. It's like, why get so stressed? This is just a game. It's only happening to the avatar. When you play Sims or whatever, you know, I like it to the game Sims because you create an avatar and you just live normal humdrum life. Any game that you play and you log in and you sign in and you create the profile, you create the avatar, you give it a name, you take it into the game, you don't cry when it dies. It's just the avatar. And realising from this higher perspective that nothing dies. You may not be able to see who was your grandparent or who was in your family because they are now vibrating at a higher level. Because when you're in the physical body, your etheric body is like a sticky light, I call it, and it clings to every cell and atom of your physical being. And the etheric body is attached by, let's say, magnetic electrons. That's how I see it. Once the electrons have a vibrational match, then they can travel anywhere in the universe and be magnetically brought back together again at will. No time and space will not separate them. They can find each other again. So this is the astral body, how we can get out of our bodies and fly. I do a lot of astral travelling. I see myself. I get out of my body and I look back and I see my body lying on the bed, and off I go and I have adventures. And the beings I meet are not always human. There's places I go that are not on Earth, and they feel just as physical and real. I fell once through space, through a dart onto a planet. It was the most weird experience ever, but I felt the gravity. I felt my stomach go. I felt myself on G-force with the gravities. I was falling. But as I glided down, I came to a slow stop and just stepped onto the planet. But I physically felt the feeling of falling. So there's other places, other experiences we can have. Not just this physical earth. So I know that there's so much more than just this physical body. And once you become aware of yourself as the energy being, of the divine being that is endlessly living, and this could be the 500th time I've come to Earth, and every time I'm going to take the avatar role seriously. No, I'm here to learn. I'm not here for other people's journey to upset me and to bring me down, because that's not me choosing happiness. So, do we want to keep the ego? Do we want to move into 5-dimensional thinking? Do we want to live in a world where we respect each other's behaviours? Okay, if someone comes up and punches me, that may be a bit different. They're actually physically harming me, and I would be saying, what on earth are you doing? But if somebody is just speaking in a way that I don't like, who's for me to like or dislike the way someone speaks? It's their journey. You know, people are far too offended these days. But somebody living their life and somebody speaking to me in a way, or I had a friend come to me recently and complain for a good few hours about how her boss was speaking to her terribly, and she was feeling bad and she was taking it for 5 days now. And I says, well, tell her you don't like it, or leave your job. We choose to stay in these places. You're choosing to let her speak to you like that. You're choosing to allow this behaviour to continue. If you walk out your job, then the worst that's going to happen is you have to get another job. And she just finished telling me that all these people have been asking her to go and work for them. Well, then you have opportunity to leave. We create this life. We allow what happens to us. We allow that. If we don't stop it, we allow it. We'll make excuses why we can't move forward, why we can't do this. Oh, I can't afford the mortgage if I leave my job. I can't do this if I leave my job. If we really want to go, if we really want to change, then stop reacting to how people are with you. We can stay in any crappy job, really, and listen to these walking egos. But once you realise they're just walking egos, and you're a divine being that will live forever, and you're just here to experience working under the ego and legs, it makes life so much sweeter. It makes life so much better for you. Because you then will not react and go home and feel terrible and feel bullied and feel, because you're just like, whoa, that guy's playing his character really well, you know. When he gets home, he's getting an Academy Award because he's really taking his character seriously. I'm not, it's a game, and I know I'm just here to experience this. And I know that he's just playing the character of the asshole on my life journey. I'm not going to take offence to that. Why should I? It'll make me choose unhappiness. I want to choose happiness. So I'm going to change my focus to what makes me happy. Once you lose the ego, this is all possible. Because you won't react anymore. You will just be. And you will choose who you are. You will choose to be the lead character in your own life movie. You will stop being the side character. You will see that this is just a big game. And okay, we have to make money and we have to feed our children or our family, or we have to do all these things, but you can do it with a mindset of happiness. And that we are just here for the experience. It makes being on this planet a whole different experience once you let all that go and realise, I want to ascend to a fifth dimensional mind. I want the rest of my friends and family to ascend to a fifth dimensional mind. Therefore, none of us will war. None of us will want to be at war. None of us will choose to be angry with each other. We'll understand each other. Someone's in a bad mood. For whatever reason, or hormonal that day. We're going to understand their bad mood and we're going to send them positive energy rather than be offended ourselves and say, why you take it out of me? I didn't do anything. You know, but that'll be gone. That whole paradigm will be gone. Because we're all in a higher state of consciousness. We're all taking off our ego jackets and bathing ourselves to the cosmic rays. And we just know that right now is where we are. This is now. There's no other moment than now. And I choose to be happy. I choose to not validate myself with my past or fear my future. I choose to be walking my journey with graceful intent and happiness. And I choose not to let anybody else's life affect me. And I choose to remain in the moment and love every moment that I'm in. So you tell me if you want to keep your ego and remain in the 3D paradigm, or should we evolve as a species to the next level that's open for us? This level is available to us now because I've managed to reach it. And it's such a freeing feeling to have people, speak to me in a certain way where I before would probably get quite upset about it. Now I'm like, oh, I know, that's fine. I don't emotionally react at all. At first I was quite scared actually that I was having some kind of psychotic episode where I wasn't emotionally reacting. But then I realised I am emotionally reacting because I can cry with happiness now. I do still cry with happiness because I choose to see happy things and to feel love and to feel a connection to each other in a positive way. I don't choose to see the negative in people. And therefore my experience is completely different. So, it's up to you. I'll leave it in your hands. Do you think you want to keep the ego and remain in the 3-dimensional mindset? I respect you for that decision. Maybe you're not meant to move beyond that. Or do you want to shed your skin and move to the 5th-dimensional mindset, where there is no war, where there's only understanding and unconditional love? Till next time, my people, my friends and my soul family, namaste. It's a pleasure talking to you. Have a good day.